Then Rubio got to Washington and wrote the bill giving amnesty to illegals, using Obama's talking points to make his sales pitch.
We know we have to deal with the 11 million people that are here illegally.
We have to deal with the 11 million individuals who are here illegal.
The bill that Senator Rubio put forward, I think, is a great place to start.
That is an ad from Ted Cruz, launching in South Carolina, trying to show the Florida Senator Marco Rubio pushing for amnesty 3 years ago, linking him to President Obama. Now to respond, Jason Rose, senior advisor of the Rubio team. He's live in Columbia. Sir, good morning to you, and thank you for coming on here today. Is that ad going to work? Is that having an effect on Marco Rubio?
Listen, Ted Cruz has been saying this for some period of time, and so it's not new words coming out of his mouth. I think it's a very dishonest representation of Senator Rubio's position. I think you could probably find some clips in which Ted Cruz says the very same things that he is splicing together with President Obama for the purposes of that ad and trying to mislead voters here in South Carolina. I mean, here's the reality. What Senator Rubio was a part of is probably being too aggressive in dealing with the situation. You know, comprehensive immigration reform, by definition, is comprehensive. So not only was that legislation that dealt with protecting our border and border security, but also dealing with the 11 million people that are here illegally. And I think in retrospect, Senator Rubio recognizes that we're going to probably have to break those two things apart, deal with the border security issue first, and then we can deal with the 11 million. But I got to be unequivocal.
Dealing with the here and now, however, it's not just Cruz, it's the others written, the Florida senator on this. I think the question is this, though. The question is whether or not it has an immediate impact on Rubio's chances come Saturday. Will it or not in South Carolina? You're there, you're talking to people, and they say what?
Well, I don't think it will. I actually think that what people are talking about here right now is Governor Haley endorsing Marco, and I think that is really taking up the oxygen here. When people are talking about Ted Cruz right now, they're talking about the petty squabbling between Cruz and Trump over this lawsuit and the baiting of Cruz to go ahead and sue because he's looking forward to deposing. What Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are talking about has nothing to do with the vision for our country and where either of those candidates wants to take us, while Marco Rubio is actually focusing on how we bring our party together and how we win in November. So it's not something that I'm seeing other than the ads.
You know that the president kind of came up. It was nudged a little bit in California 2 days ago. And this is what the president said, without saying by name Marco Rubio. His response.
You've got a candidate who sponsored a bill that I supported to finally solve the immigration problem, and he's running away from it as fast as he can.
President Obama has no standing to talk about immigration because his party controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate for 2 years, and they did nothing. And then after Barack Obama has now put in place 2 unconstitutional executive orders, which has made it even harder to move forward on immigration.
That may be the case, but that still does not extract Marco Rubio from what he tried to do several years back. Go.
I don't think extraction is necessary. I mean, I think what we're talking about here is how to go about it. It's more about a process thing. I mean, this criticism from Cruz is frankly the price of leadership. Ted Cruz has been great about saying no in the Senate, about filibustering and doing things like that, but he has very little record of accomplishment. He spends his time saying no, where Marco Rubio is actually trying to get things fixed in Washington. So I think it actually creates a great contrast for what kind of leader these two guys could make as President of the United States. One who actually wants to deal with the issues facing the country, and one who just wants to say no and grandstand.
Yeah, one more thing here. Rubio was asked yesterday whether or not Ted Cruz is lying. He pretty much said he was without using the L word. Can you remember a time in a Republican battle when the word liar has been used so often by so many?
No. No, I have not, but then I haven't seen as much lying in a presidential primary as we have seen in the last few weeks.
Saturday it goes down. Thank you, Jason Rowe. Surrogate there for Marco Rubio in Columbia, South Carolina. Thanks for taking time. 20 minutes now.
Thank you.